For the past 35 plus years, hi guys! Our family has really cherished a tradition that my parents actually started. We go to church. Hey Adam, how you doing? And good. My parents have invited the family over for lunch.
The power and the glory forever, amen.
You know, we sit around the big table and we tell stories.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Laugh. But it's really, nice to have a close-knit family.
Bon appetit.
My mom actually prepares for lunch all week. So she cooks, she makes the meals, and then my dad kind of cleans the dishes, washes the dishes. That's been his role. We started noticing that, he'd repeat himself. He'd ask a question, and then maybe a couple minutes later, he'd ask us the same question. And then as time went on, I think he kind of got a little bit disengaged from conversations. We kind of looked at each other and just wondering if this could be some memory issues. I reached out to his doctor and they did some testing and they diagnosed him with mild dementia. It was pretty devastating. I think I was worried about is that he wouldn't recognize me anymore. That was just, very scary to even think about. So my dad, Dr. Manuel Zagurnis, also known as Manny, is a very respected and accomplished physician and administrator. He actually served as the Dean of the Medical School and Vice President of Health Services at The Ohio State University for almost 20 years. He was an amazing dad. Obviously, he worked very hard, but he balanced, work and family very well. It's made me a better person too. I mean, I feel like I've tried to follow in his footsteps and be, caring and compassionate, trustworthy. I wanted to be able to make a difference in people's lives like he made a difference. And I think that my patients see him in me. As a physician, I know somebody that has Alzheimer's and look in their eyes and then not having them look back at you. Just a devastating thing to have to go through. It was a slow, progressive change that we saw in him. Short-term memory loss, repeating questions, disengaging in conversations. He was falling more. There was one time that actually required an ER visit for sutures. His primary care physician started him on a medication that is approved called Aricept. Didn't really notice any improvement, and he, continued to progressively get worse. And that's why I was so excited to hear that there might be a treatment that not only stabilizes dementia, but may reverse it. So in 2020, my Uncle Lou reached out to me in the middle of the pandemic and said, there is a company that is enrolling patients into a clinical trial. There was nobody in Ohio that was participating. So I called the next closest site, which was in Miami, Florida. This was in the middle of COVID. I talked to the primary investigator and I said, if you had a father that was affected by dementia, that was, 86 years old, would you, put him on a plane and come down? He goes, in the 20 plus years of participating in Alzheimer's studies, this is the first that I've actually not only seen stabilization of the condition, but actual reversal of cognitive, dysfunction.
All passengers on flight 152 to Miami.
I actually booked a flight that same day, try to see if we can get him enrolled.
Please report to gate 47.
Here it is, 4 years after he's been in the clinical trial. I believe it has worked because I've seen the improvement in my father, which is certainly a blessing.
There are little things like that you never forget.
He's able to perform his, daily activities without compromise. We trust him to be able to go for a walk by himself, bathe and shower and take care of himself without assistance. And since he's been on the, medication, his balance has stabilized. He hasn't had any more falls. In fact, he was able to dance at my son's wedding in the Bahamas. For a 90-year-old to be able to do this that has a history of dementia is pretty incredible.
No, Madeline won't let me.
We get together every Sunday with 30 or 40 people, and our family have noticed an improvement. He seems to follow the conversations better. He automatically, gets up and he cleans the dishes. He doesn't even have to be asked. I believe Simufilam does work. It's a safe treatment. I've seen not only that it stabilized the disease, but there have been certain areas cognitively that have improved. We don't get too many days like this, do we?
know.
I think that I've got more quality time with my father.
Right.
Thank you, honey.
It's nice to be able to see him interact,
You're all great people.
not only with my kids or our kids, but the grandkids and great-grandkids. There is hope on the horizon. Happy birthday to you. If Simufilam gets approved by the FDA, I certainly hope that other patients affected by dementia and their families will benefit like my father has.
Happy birthday to you. All right, come on.
Yeah!